Richie from Big Backyard Ideas here, and this is my Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse review. This is the before, and this is the after. So you want to see how we got here? Keep on watching. Nice, simple, easy to use. It's the Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse. Well, good afternoon folks, Richie here from Big Backyard Ideas, and this is my Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse review. Because summer's nearly upon us, I want to get some bean seeds in, and rather than going and buying big individual pots and faffing around with potting compost and all that, I saw this when I was down in Home Depot, although if I can find a link to it on Amazon, I'll put that down there, and this will grow up to 12 plants, as it says, on your windowsill on there. And I've got this nice windowsill just behind me, which will be absolutely ideal for growing plants, as my cucumbers are already racing away. Anyway, what do you have to do with this? Nice and simple. Instructions on the back. You will need to provide your own seeds. All you've got to do is pour in 1 3/4 cups of water into here. Now, to anybody looking from Europe or from the UK, you might be thinking, why has he got all the water there? Just pour in 1 3/4 cups. A cup, guys, is a specific unit of measure because I'm actually living over here in America on here. So don't just go and pour in like several mugs of water in there, because you will you may well get the measurements wrong in terms of that. So that's a 1 cup size on there, guys. Half a cup there, 1/4 cup there, 1 3/4 cups. Now, I have used one of these earlier on, and they will eventually stop floating around and absorb all of the water in there. So for the minute, I will absorb quite a lot of the water. Put a 1.5 cups in there. So I'm going to leave those for a while. They're already beginning to swell up with the water, and then remove them into place and come back and see if I need to add my last cup of water. So back in a second, guys. I can already see the water level dropping, and these are going to come up pretty much level with the surface. Can't put 12 beans out for just a couple of minutes there, guys. They're rapidly absorbing the water in, so I'm going to pour in that last 1/4 cup on there. They're now in a position where you can begin to move them into place. They're not wanting to float around as much. So before they swell up fully, make sure they're all sitting back in the holes properly. The one thing I would say on this one, guys, is the Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse. It's very much like you could reuse it, but it's intended as a one-time use thing. They're only relatively cheap though, as I say. Links them below the video. When all of these have swollen right up and absorbed all of that water, I'm then gonna dip a little hole using a pencil in the top of them, and then push my bean seed in. And this is the before part of the video, as you will see, they produce stunning results in the after part. Now, everyone may have their own way of doing this, but I just shall like to use a pencil in this particular instance. The hole appears to have shifted on that one. Not a big issue though. You get this up and running I mean, I'm taking longer doing it, but if I wasn't talking, you'd be like 5 minutes and be done with this, particularly if you poured the 1 3/4 of water straight in, which you can do, as it's almost dead bone dry on the bottom there. Now, all we've got to do, pop our bean seeds in. I found with these beans, you do not need to push them an awfully long way in. They don't necessarily need to be covered in the soil. As I say, you will see the end results of these are quite spectacular. Now, you can just push them down with the pencil if you want, but you needn't. I find they will germinate virtually as they are there. Now, you can just squeeze the tops off them to cover the soil, so that if they are a little bit in the dark, then they'll want to grow towards the light, and they're probably going to germinate a little bit quicker. Hope that makes sense there, guys. Now all you've got to do, put the lid on them, place the Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse in a nice windowsill like this. This gets plenty of sun during the afternoon. The one thing I would say is you will need to add a little bit of water to them each day, or every couple of days. You don't want to put too much in, but you'll notice even the next morning after first planting them, you'll get condensation on the inside of here if you've got a nice warm windowsill. So you are going to need to keep an eye on them and water them just as you would do normal plants. Don't overwater them, because that's going to give you problems with germinating them, but do keep an eye on them. Anyway, let's see what the end result's like. Now here's the end result, guys, of the Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse. After just over a week, that's how fast my beans have grown. They began to germinate in virtually overnight. Certainly within 2 days that I was having green shoots coming through on there. So time to plant these out in the garden. So I did say at the start of the video I would show you the before and the after. Very, very simple to look after, provided you're just giving them a little bit of water. You're not overwatering them during the day, because if you're overwatering them, obviously the leaves are going to go yellow, which is not going to be good, guys. Anyway, hope you found that quick review of the Jiffy Windowsill Greenhouse useful. If you did, there is a link to them below the video, and if you like it and you found it useful, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.